Hello, everybody, and welcome to the intro to the elements. And Zoom is doing strange things, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not sure if it's showing me or the whole gallery. If it's showing the gallery, that's fine, because all of your beautiful faces are shining and awesome to see this morning. So I am here to share on this beautiful new moon. My journey with the elements. I started my training in I started my spiritual work at age 12 when I picked up my first tarot deck. And by the way, at the end of today's class, I will be pulling a tarot card for all of us for this new moon energy. And I want to thank all of you guys for moving with the dates where I had to switch everything because my phone got stolen on the new moon. And what I learned from that is, the initial shock and like, oh my God, like all my personal stuff is out there, and like going through and making sure I swipe all my information and just feeling like a gut punch of like, wow, like somebody stole all of my info. It actually ended up being a learning for me on many ways. And one of them is, instead of going down the rabbit hole of victim and like, oh my God, somebody did this to me, which I did that for the first few hours, I'm not gonna lie. What I did was I pulled in that new moon energy, that Leo energy, and I said, I'm gonna rise above this and I'm gonna use what I talk about, what I teach, and it's about like staying in your power and using these elements. So what I actually did before I went to bed, after I cried and called Apple and did all the things, I decided I'm going to call in spirit. And spirit is one of the elements. There's 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And so I called in spirit and I said, ouch, that was a blow. And I know that this happened for a reason, so bring me into the reason of it and show me what the silver lining is of me having my phone stolen. And that next morning I woke up and I had an email and it reminded me that I have insurance. And so I ended up going to the Verizon store and, showing them the email and telling them what happened. And the guy, spirit bless him, the guy said, wow, that really sucks. Let me try to work this out for you. And what actually ended up happening is through insurance, I got my phone replaced, which was what I paid for insurance for. And then I was able to take that phone into Verizon and get a Pro 13, an iPhone Pro 13 for like a few dollars extra a month. So it actually ended up working out, right? Because it was time for me to buy a new phone. I had a really old 10, and as Apple users know, after about 2 or 3 years, your phone starts to decline and you can't do things you need to do. And I use my phone a lot for business, so I need to keep it, at a certain level. So it actually ended up saving me money because I was going to just go in and buy a new 13 at some point. So when we work with the elements, and especially when we're in that space of like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I didn't do a whole ritual. I didn't, I lit a candle and I just meditated and spoke to spirit. And that is what I want to teach you guys within this course, is like how to use the elementals in a way that works for you. There's ceremonial magicians out there and they love making huge altars and doing all the things, all day rituals. And that's beautiful. I've done that too. Definitely in my 20s and 30s, I put a lot of time and energy into creating rituals for the elements. In my early 30s, I went through training, Wicca training. And so I had teachers that were with me for 3 years and 3 days. And 1 year, a whole year, was all about the elementals. And at the end of our elementals training, we had to each write our own ritual. My ritual was 23 pages. So I know about the ceremonial part of it and getting all the tools and creating this huge thing. And I also know that all of it also resides within you, within your mind, especially, and within your heart. So that is more what I'm going to be teaching. Yes, I have all the training to tell you all the different ceremonies to do and all that kind of stuff. And I know how to make it make sense to people just on a heart level, right? Like, not all of us want to be ceremonial magicians. I'm not one, you know. I go out into the forest and find pine cones and heart rocks and flowers, go to the sea and take shells and create my altar on the sand. So that is more where I am at this point, but I do have that training. So I take in all of the things that I learned within that and construct it into a more heart-based, spirit-based, practice. And so that is what we are going to be talking about today. So when you work with the elements, it's they're not these big things that are so far away from you. Sometimes, working with gods and goddesses and sometimes spirit can feel like they're very far away. And the elements are like literally right here on the earth, right? And we have the elements within us as well. The elementals are things that we can call that are just like waiting for us to use them. They're tools. They're tools. Where the gods and goddesses, like, they have a whole world to look at and be, making sure things are working. But the elements are like right outside your door. Walk outside, you're on earth, right? Light a candle, you've got fire. Take a bath, you're in water, right? So these elements are very close to us, and there's ways in which we can use them for magic, yes, but more what I'm going to be focused on is how to use them with your healing and how to use them with just day-to-day life, right? So like I used spirit when my phone got stolen, and I just visualized, and spirit is very much up here. It's your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. That is how spirit speaks back to you. So it's meditation, it's prayer, it's mantra chanting, those kind of things really help bring in spirit. And then also silence, right? So speaking out what you need, but then being silent to hear it. That is 100% spirit. And spirit works quickly with you the more you work with it, right? So in the beginning, you may be like, I'm going to meditate and get something from spirit. And you're like sitting there and you got your eyes closed and you're like listening. Sometimes you won't get it immediately. Like, I didn't get it immediately that night, but it came to me the next day when I showed up at the Verizon store, and then the right awesome guy was like, let me help you. So spirit also can speak in dreams, right? So you can set an intention, go to sleep, and even write it down. Write down, I want to dream my answer to this question, and then kind of think about it, set the intention, and then go to sleep and let spirit take care of the rest. Spirit can also speak to you through other people, right? So you set your intention, you visualize what you want, and you ask spirit, like, please guide me in this. I'm not sure what my next step is. And then you may have a friend reach out to you and invite you to a thing, and then you meet the person who opens the door to what you were asking, right? So when we work with spirit, it's huge. There's so many different ways that you can get your answers. And so my advice with working with spirit is 100% patience. It's not like a phone or a text where like you're like, all right, spirit, what do I do? And it's like, okay, here. Sometimes it takes a little while, but it's like a muscle. The more you work with spirit, the stronger and more quickly you're going to receive your answers. And so in this class, I'm going to be giving you tips. We're going to be doing meditations with each element, and spirit is going to be the last one. It's the first one I'm talking about because like I'm 100% in spirit right now because of what happened on the new moon with my phone. But spirit will actually be the last elemental we work on. This class is going to be a 6-week class. So each week we're going to be living in one of the elements, right? So earth, air, fire, water, spirit. And that's 5 weeks. So the sixth week is going to be the most fun week, because that's when we're going to do just a beautiful calling out to all of the elements. We're going to do a ritual together with all of the elements. And each week is going to be so fun. Like when I was doing my training, I was in each element for a month. And it's beautiful when you live within the different elements, and you're going to learn the different sides of the elements, right? There's a light side and a dark side. And specifically like with fire, right? I am fire is my element. As a lot of you guys know, I burnt my house down and had third-degree burns over 30% of my body, and was in a burn ward. And that's what brought me into the healing work I do with the healing woods. So that night was the dark side of fire, right? It was just like, oh my God, complete destruction. My house is gone. My skin is burnt. I'm in a burn ward. And then the light side to fire is, it woke me up. It gave me that passion inside of me to actually want to live. Before the fire, I was dark, like just not the person you know today. I hated myself. I hated life. I hated love. I was just in this like ball of hate, and then my life was literally taken by fire. Like fire said, all right, we're going to cut cords to whatever that is. If it was past life or childhood stuff or whatever was going on with that, and you're going to actually have your heart stop, which it did. And then I was reborn on the operating table. And then I couldn't wait to get back out there and start my band and write my book and start doing healing work for people. It was like a complete and utter reset button. So the bright side, the light side to fire is cleansing, purification, the phoenix. Think of the phoenix, right? Like those of you guys who know tarot, there's the Tower card, right? It's this monolith that's just like on flames and it's falling down, but there's always a phoenix that rises after the tower collapses. My tower obviously is that literal fire of my house, and all of that darkness I was living in needed to collapse in order for this phoenix to rise and be here today. So fire is a really fun one. That week is going to be awesome. We're going to be calling in the elements weekly with the work that we do. I will be doing hypnotic journeys for each of the elements for you guys to work with, and giving you prompts of stuff that you can do within each week, literally learning how to call them into your life, on a healing aspect and a spiritual aspect, Earth is beautiful, right? Like we live on the earth, and earth is like probably the easiest to access. You can just go out into your yard and there's probably a tree somewhere near there. If you live in the city, go to a park, right? We've got earth all around us. And even if you're like in downtown LA and there's just like concrete everywhere, you can bring earth to you, with rocks, crystals. People are definitely into crystals now. And having plants, all of that is that earth element. And it's super important to have that around you, because the earth gets you back into your body. Having even just a tree that you love out in the world and visiting that is going to really help to root you and ground you in health, and also, and we're going to go more into this during the 6-week course, but how to use these elements in your healing and your manifesting. Like earth, it's all about like bringing it into the here and now, like taking it out of air. Air would be like your thoughts, like imagining what it's like to have the money that you need, or the health that you need, or the love that you need. So it's airy, right? It's up here. It's like all in your head, and bringing it down into the earth so you can actually see it happen around you. So the elements are important to use in conjunction with each other. It's not just think about it, manifest it, thinking about it, visualizing the air part of it is 100% important. In fact, it needs to kind of start there, right? We need to start within the air to bring it down into our body or bring it into our lives. So doing planting magic is beautiful, and we'll go into how to do that, right? Like bringing in using the earth element to not only beautify the earth, right? Like plant beautiful plants. All of my garden is all intentional, right? Every single rose bush or tree that I've planted myself in my mom's yard more because she has a big, huge yard. I can't really plant trees in the courtyard, but I can plant seeds, right, that grow into beautiful things. And so, infusing the seeds with love. And as I plant these into the earth, love flourishes as it grows, So we'll be talking about using earth a lot within manifesting and within healing as well. I used every single element within my cancer journey, like every single element. Water. Water is emotions, it is purifying and cleansing as well. And if you're lucky enough to live near a body of water, get in that water as much as you can. I visited the ocean almost weekly within that time because Mama Ocean, I view Mama Ocean as she's like the womb of the earth, right? Like we go into those beautiful cleansing waters and you feel the pull, the push and the pull of the tide and the waves. If you're a good swimmer, I'm an excellent swimmer, so I always go into the water. But even if you're not a good swimmer, you can visit the ocean and just stay on the shore, right? And as the waves are coming in and out, feel her power. But I went in there to allow her to just take everything away from me. I just went deep into the water and away from the waves and just floated and just allowed her to heal me. And using the waves, I would stand at certain points where the waves would hit me in the chakras, right? Like it starts with your root chakra going up to the sacral, just letting them pound, letting her just pound out whatever was within me, emotionally, mentally, all of it, and physically. So all of these beautiful elements have so much wisdom to teach us, and using them in all facets of life has really been what's gotten me where I am today, And it's not about the busyness of it all and I got to go get all these tools and do all these things. No, you just bring them in. You bring them in however you can, If you can't go, I'm going to be teaching different ways in which to do cord cuttings with each element. And so not everybody lives right near the ocean or near a river or a lake. And that's fine. Like I said, you've got water in your home, right? So one of the cord cuttings that I love to teach is the water cauldron. And the water cauldron is your toilet. Right? So like when I had cancer, I was like I said, I was using all of the elements. I used fire, I used earth, and I used my water cauldron because at one point I was not feeling like getting out to the ocean every day. I was exhausted. My body was going through lots of changes and lots of fear, And so I just visualized, every time I would pee, that it was taking everything away, taking all the fear, taking all of the cancer, the just dread I was feeling. And I would just like breathe that out. So using air as well, right? Breathe it out, release it into the water cauldron, and then flush it. Bye-bye. So there are easy ways that you can make big impact within your life using these elements. So I would love to answer any questions. Are there any questions from anybody so far who's been listening? Do you have a question, Tracy? Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. If you guys do, just like raise your hand. And what I want to do is take you guys on a hypnotic journey.
Sorry, I have a quick question. Sorry, so how do you know which element like will work best for the moment that you're in? Does it not matter, or does it matter depending on the situation?
It matters depending on the situation. And during the class, I will definitely be telling you like which element to use when, and maybe conjunctions of elements, right? Like there's the elements, but then there's like earth of air, fire of water. There's all these different mixtures that you can make. And so yeah, I will definitely be going through that with each of the weeks that we're going to be within each element. Awesome. Great question. All right. So let's get comfortable and allow yourself to just lay back and take some big, deep breaths. And we're going to go on a little journey with the elements. And feeling all tension in your body release. As you take 3 deep cleansing breaths, letting your mind and body know that it's time to go within. And as your normal pattern of breathing continues, feeling your root chakra at the base of your spine. And being aware of the breath you're breathing in, that beautiful air element that comes in and out of your lungs without you even needing to think about it. Air is here to give you life. And feeling that beautiful air with your next breath, filling your lungs. And now feeling that beautiful root chakra. And feeling the roots growing out of it, down into the earth. And feeling them grow deeper and deeper. Down past some rocks. Down through the worms. Deeper and deeper. Feeling the strength of the earth. Feeling solid. And as they go deeper and deeper, they break through into a beautiful underground stream. Feeling the cool, life-giving force of water being drunk by your thirsty roots. And as you're in this beautiful underground stream, set an intention for this beautiful new moon. It could be health, it could be abundance, it could be anything you need. And visualize it happening as this beautiful water flows through. And allowing the roots to go even deeper. Feeling the fire in the pit of the earth, the passion, the action, that light within the dark. Feeling the transformation of fire, feeling that inner phoenix within you. We all have that. Fire lighting the way through the caves and tunnels of your intentions. Lighting that fire under your intention. Seeing the actions you need to take in order to make this intention grow. Now allowing yourself to go into the cool, cleansing waters. What are the emotions you need to release? What are the things that need to be cleansed and purified in your life in order to allow this intention to come through? And slowly coming up through your roots back into the earth. What needs to happen? What needs to be rooted and grounded in your life in order for this intention to come through? And then moving up into the air. What inspiration do you need? What new ideas need to come? How do you need to express yourself in a new way in order to bring this intention in? And then visiting through your body, feeling so good, feeling connected to all 4 of the elements. But there is one more that we need to visit, and that is where we are going to go right now. So feeling that root chakra, feeling grounded to the earth, feeling supported by the universe. Going into the sacral chakra, feeling that creativity, spark, that passion within you. Going up to the solar plexus. Your confidence is strong. The spark of life, the get up and go, growing within you. Up into your beautiful heart, feeling that love for yourself, the love for everyone. Moving into your throat, easily expressing yourself, your needs and your desires. Moving into the third eye, opening up that eye even wider than it already is. Seeing the signs, knowing what your next moves need to be. And then the crown chakra on the top of your head, feeling that open and light from within you shine out like a laser up into the universe, up into spirit. And spirit can look like whatever you want it to. Spirit can be your ancestors. Spirit can be the universe. Spirit can be the gods and goddesses, or God, or Buddha. Spirit can be your higher self. Spirit is all encompassing of any and all beliefs. And ask Spirit what you need to know to further your intention into reality. And I'm going to allow you to sit with Spirit for a minute to receive any visions, any deep knowings, anything that Spirit wants to give you. And thanking Spirit for anything that it has shown you, and also knowing that it will speak to you in many different ways. It can be somebody mentioning something to you that sparks a light within you. It can be a song lyric that you listen to today. It could be a dream that you have tonight. It could be a sign that you see on a coffee wall of a coffee shop. Maybe there's something that you need to go take, a class you need to see. There's so many different ways that spirit will speak to you, and knowing that it will, and setting that intention, and allowing yourself to feel that beautiful light shine within you and up into the universe, knowing that you are forever connected to spirit. As you go back into your body, feeling the roots in that earth, feeling strong, feeling protected, and feeling back in your body. And take some big, deep breaths to bring you back into your body. Open your eyes and do some stretching. Beautiful. So I wanted to, as promised, do a tarot card for everybody who is watching this video. And so what does Spirit want us to know? Do 3 shuffles. Ah, yay. We got the Magician. And so we are all magicians, every single one of us. And you don't need to go through 3 years and 3 days of magical training to be a magician. We are all born magicians. The tool is here, like I said, it's the mind, it's the heart, it's spirit, you know, and spirit looks very different for everybody. And that is why I want to create this, not as a Wicca training, you know, that I'm going to be teaching, you know, how I was taught was through Wicca, but also I'm taking in all the different aspects of being a magician, you know, just nature and planetary stuff. There's planetary stuff within the different elementals, you know, there's herbs, there's all kinds of different things to become that magician. You don't have to be Wiccan in order to work with the elementals. We are all living on this earth. We are all living within the elements. We might as well learn how to use them, right? So we can not do spells necessarily, but heal and move forward, manifest, right? Do the things that we need to do for ourselves. So I love that we got the Magician. Each one of you watching this, you are a magician without training. If you go into this class, though, you will have more training in the tools in which to become a stronger magician. So I love that we got that card. I wanted to give you guys the info for the class. So it's going to be starting, I think, in October. I want to just give enough time for me personally, because I'm going through a huge coach training right now. So I don't really have a lot of time to give my all in this kind of 6-week course. So I'm waiting until October to do it. There is going to be an early bird special though. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. So normally the class, it's going to be 6 weeks, like I said, and it will be $333. But if you buy now until August 15th, you're going to get it for $249, which is a nice discount. And so definitely get on for the discount, you know, and if you're interested, just shoot me a text or an email and I will put a link to it, like however I'm going to send this video to you. Either it's going to be through my website or on Facebook. And I look forward to being magicians with all of you, because all of you are beautiful magicians of spirit in all the different walks of spirit that you're going to be. Anybody can learn how to work with the elements. You don't have to be Wiccan or a witch or a ceremony magician, like at all. You just need to be a living, breathing human, and all of you are. So is there any questions before we stop our time here?
So is it like, so it's every week, so it's once a week for 6 weeks? And how long are the classes and what days and all of that?
Like I said, I haven't, it's going to be October. And so everybody will come in. They're all going to be recorded, right? It's going to be like Spirit Craft.
Yeah.
Jen is my Spirit Craft group. So, and it's beautiful. The beautiful thing about Spirit Craft is people can either come in, live, or if stuff happens and you can't make it, I'm going to post it to a Facebook group. And the Facebook group is going to be secret. Nobody else can get in besides people who are in the elemental journey. So yeah, it'll be an hour. It'll be an hour each week. And then, but there's also going to be like different prompts. I'm going to go in and have people like, share how they're working with fire. There will be journal prompts. Hopefully you guys will really do the work within this, because that's what really created the magic for me when I went through my training with the elementals. Is not just like, okay, so for the classes that I took were once a week, right? Like in Wicca training. But then it's like that whole 7 days, I was doing stuff. I wasn't just like, okay, 1 hour of training and then forget about it and then come back for the hour. So it's going to be a whole immersive experience. I'm going to be recording meditations and hypnotic journeys for you guys for each of the elements, giving you ideas on how to get yourself into the elements, right? So it's going to be it's going to be a journey, right? But yeah, it's going to be once a week. We will figure out what that day is going to be. Like once everybody gets in the group, I'll do how I did, with Spirit Craft stuff. Like I do a poll, and whoever is available whatever day most of the people in the group are available, that's when we'll do the training. Does that make sense? Yeah. So awesome. All right, guys. Well, definitely reach out to me if any questions come up. And I'm so excited to share this. I've had this knowledge for decades, and I haven't been sitting on it. I've been using it like every day. And, when I spoke with some of my longstanding Healing Woods clients, I'm like, what should I be doing next? And it was a resounding like, teach magic. And so I don't want to do Wicca training because I'm not in Wicca anymore. I mean, I love it, and I go to Wicca, functions and things like that. But really, what the big thing that I took from that training is the elements, and anybody can learn that. So yeah, I got a big kick in the butt from Spirit to like start getting this out there, because it's just going to help people in such a beautiful way. And that's my passion within the Healing Woods. So yeah, reach out to me. We can get on Zoom and talk. I do free talks on Zoom for about 15 minutes if you have any questions and wondering if it's even right for you. It is, by the way, because you're a human. Everybody should be within the earth. We need to have like a better connection to the elements. But yeah, I can hear where you're at in life and see how the elements can help you. All right, guys, thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.